the topic that we chose to do was divorce, and the significance of divorce is that most 40 to 50% of marriages in the U.S. end in divorce, and that obviously has a really big impact on our social structure and development. When thinking about the implications of divorce on those involved and children, it can cause sadness or anger in childhood, and even problems with intimacy in later life. And it's well known that divorcees have a higher rate of depression, car accidents, and self-esteem issues, as well as financial hardship. So overall, it just has a really big impact on the lives of those involved.
There are quite a few community resources that are aimed at supporting the many people impacted by divorce in the United States. The group that we focused on is called First Wives World, and so their mission is to build a community of support to help women on their journey to recovery and provide them with the best resources, experts, mentors, tools, and communities required to move their lives forward with knowledge, friendship, and insight from a community who understands. So they do this through an online and offline support group. It's private and secure, and it acts as a safe haven for women who are in all walks and stages of life who have been touched by divorce. But there are plenty of other resources. Other ones are Divorce Care, which is a general support group for men and women, and there's also Divorce Care for kids, and that focuses on the children of divorce, but it's also for parents, giving them resources on how to handle their kids through it all.
Some factors that influence divorce. The Washington Times has reported that in 1980, the percent of families that were led by married parents was around 78%, and this has steadily declined over the years to 66% in 2012. This decline in married parents has also led to an incline in married family income of about 14%, which is disappointing considering if the percent of married couples stayed at 78%, there would have been an incline of about 22% in the married family income. There are also cultural factors that influence divorce, as there are a lot more divorces popping up. The American Psychological Association that reports that around 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce. And WebMD also reports that those who have been divorced or widowed are about 20% more likely to encounter a chronic condition such as heart disease, cancer, or diabetes.
So the online resource that I chose to use is healthychildren.org, and it's managed by the American Academy of Pediatrics. The website just gives a general overview of the effects of divorce on children, and the overall message was that even though some developmental issues can occur because of divorce, separation of a negative relationship is actually more beneficial than trying to keep that negative relationship going. The site does say that children can have issues with intimacy in adulthood due to the effects of divorce, and they may have feelings of anger or sadness when the divorce is actually happening. But overall, the website could have been a little bit more specific with the implications of divorce on development on a child. The website did line up with a lot of professional standards. It stated that the estranged spouses can put aside their marital conflicts when it comes to parenting, and that should make it a little bit better for the children affected long term. I would say that more emphasis on professional guidance and sessions for the children to talk about the emotions that come up with it would be appropriate as well.
A child's response to a parental divorce is often an anxious one. The child is wondering about the future in regard to what will happen next. The fears and angst associated with that response can be aggressive. Picard explains that by reverting to a formal way of functioning, parents may feel more compelled to care for the child. There may be separation anxiety, crying at bedtime, a break in potty training, bedwetting, clinging, whining, tantrums, and a temporary loss of self-care skills. The adolescent is affected in a slightly different way. Adolescents are more prone to take risks, they're more aggressive, and being angry and highly critical of their parents' decision. This anger may be expressed verbally and may be directed at one or both parents. Withdrawal from one parent as a form of punishment, this might coincide with taking the side of the other parent. Depression or withdrawn from one or both parents, increased time spent away from the family home or locked away in their own room, increased desire to spend more time with peers, tendency to become argumentative or aggressive if prevented from doing so. The teen may also become better behaved, hoping that this will save their parents' marriage or atone for what they believe is their fault. Decreased academic performance, including more disruptive behavior at school, loss of interest in schoolwork or truancy, increased risk-taking behavior such as binge drinking, illicit drug use, or sexual promiscuity. And the adult is affected a little bit less, but still affected. United States,